Well, hello and welcome. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today, I got a serious video for you talking and explaining why I am the way I am. I'm gonna tell you the short version of my life story. All right, guys, I'm gonna tell you why am I how I am. How did I get here? Why do I love arcades so much? Why can I not stop playing video games for the life of me? Well, you're gonna learn about all of this in this video. Why is pizza so peak? Well, who doesn't like pizza, guys? Let's get into the video.
I grew up in very difficult circumstances, but there's a lot of you that could relate to me in this way. When I was growing up, domestic violence, child abuse, and feeling alone was such a big thing. Like, there's nothing worse than feeling alone when you most need attention from everybody around you. The feeling of being lonely and being helpless in a world that's too real was a very big thing when I was growing up in my way of life. And I'm sure a lot of you could relate to this. And maybe not. Maybe there's a lot of you that are lucky enough to have great parents. Me, well, what could I say? That's just the cards I was dealt. And that's why in part I am how I am. Later on in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, whatever, eventually gaming came out, bro. And gaming was awesome. And I could truly say that gaming was an escape for me. Gaming literally saved my life. It was a positive thing in my life. And it was the way for me to escape all the negativity, bro. Like, I have no way to tell you how much gaming saved my mind and my life. I could truly escape the reality of my life and go into these amazing adventures and these amazing worlds that was gaming. And I also know a lot of you could relate with this because I know that a lot of you actually game because you want to escape the real world. Just like I did when I was young. I didn't want to do anything with the real world, just gaming. Through gaming, I had the most fun. I made so many friends. Family members or friends, gaming was the way to escape. And while I was growing up, I told the story before, like me and my brother used to actually skip school to go to arcades and just be chilling and gaming all day, because back when we were younger, we didn't have much expectations for the future. At least I didn't. So I didn't really care. I only cared about the moment. I was going to regret that. But looking back, I had so much fun and had so many unique moments, especially with my brother, that I say, you know what? No regrets, bro. We had so much fun, and you only live once. No regrets. You see, I grew up in a very different world. I grew up in Puerto Rico. Uh, Violence and narcotics and a bunch of bad. The world is evil, bro. And I grew up immersed in a very evil world. And I eventually became this. It's very hard for this world not to consume you. And I think my brother did way better avoiding this world, not me. I kind of fell straight into it and got engulfed in it. I became part of this world. I did not have expectations to live past 20, bro. That's just how real life was for me. I was truly immersed in something that I should have never actually touched. But that was life. That's where I grew up. So when we talk about video games, we're talking about escapism, or however you say it. So the reality of my life, violence, the world, the cruelty, and escaping into video games, actually to escape. Till this day, I use video games to escape from the stress of work or the stress of real life situations, because obviously we have a life and we got to deal with it. Whether it's school, work, or just the people around us, we have to deal with that reality. And to go and immerse ourselves in a video game, a fictional world where we're free to do, say, act, and be however we want to be in our fantasy world is such an appealing thing. And that's why my whole life, till this day, I absolutely love video games. But the reality is that I never truly escaped that world that I grew up in. I never truly escaped. Obviously, I lived there half my life. I was a part of this world. There was no denying. It took me years. It took me years to actually step away, and I had to go through some very hard moments to actually realize that this is not the world I want to be in for the rest of my life. That's a fact. There are circumstances I could make different circumstances for myself. I could truly change my life if I actually wanted to. And there came a point in my life where I actually said to myself, this is probably the point where I need to start changing my life. Still, it took me a while, but I eventually did it. And that moment for me was when I first had my first son. I was young. I was 18, bro, when I first had my first son. And that was one of the moments. That was the first moment that saved my life. Well, actually, video games, then my son. Those are the two moments that changed my life, step by step. This is the moment where I realized I couldn't be living the life that I live the way I live it. I had to take more responsibility and be more serious because now I got others that depend on me, and I could relate with horrible parents. So I don't want to be a horrible parent. I want to be better. That's the spark of wanting to be better and giving my son, and now I have three of them, a better life, not the experience that I had to go through. Because why would I do that if I didn't like it? So, from being a loser that I was, from being young, ignorant, throwing my life away, not caring about my health, completely doing all types of craziness, I made myself into a successful man. I chiseled my way through life. It was hard. It wasn't easy. Living a life of crime or whatever, it's way easier, but it's not satisfying. And the possibility of you dying or ending up locked up are very possible. But to be strong is to do the things that are difficult to do and be successful at it. And I did that. And I still do that. I consider myself to be truly successful. I have changed my way, the way I look, the way I think, and the way I live in a dramatic way. And I did that through, it wasn't easy. I did that through force. I did that through my will. I am a person who believes that winners are not born. They are self-made. And I am proof of that. Because I was born into a world of fire. And I had to change because I was part of that world. There wasn't much of an option. I had to make that choice. I had to make the choice to be different, to change life, to change myself, is to change the world around me. And I did that. I changed my mind, my body, my soul, everything. And I became the success I am today. And everything I do, I am so grateful to because I am successful at everything I do. And now I can make the difference. I can hold people up if they're broken because that's what I do. Because that's why I changed, to help to make the world a better place. And it's totally possible. When I first started my YouTube channel, I did not think I was going to pop off. I just said, yo, I play video games, so I might as well do a YouTube channel because it just, living the dream of a YouTube channel is a fact. I would definitely rather stay home playing games all day than have to go to work and be stressed out. That's a fact. And that's why I'm so grateful that I have the little success I have right here because it makes me think about the possibility that it might happen one day. Who knows? We don't know. But this was crazy. It came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. I was just playing and posting videos. It was through Roblox that a lot of children, a lot of young viewers found me. And that changed everything. And now I get to play with people that watch me and we get to have fun together. And that changed everything. That changed everything. But it also gave me a handful of responsibilities that I was not expecting. Like people look up to me now. They look at me as an example, especially the really young viewers. And that's kind of a lot of pressure, but I could handle it. I could take it. I just gotta make sure that I do the right thing and give the right example. And that's not easy because I'm not perfect. I try to be. But everything changed at some point when not only my channel started popping off and I said, wow, I never thought this would happen. And now I got a whole community behind me looking at me for inspiration. But everything changed when I started receiving messages from people, I'm not going to say who, but a couple of people that started telling me how their life is in real life. And, I don't talk about this, but I do get messages and I do see, and I'm like, bro, and I could relate because when I was young, I had to go through what I had to go through. So, and I felt alone and lost and I had nobody. But through the power of internet, now I kind of feel like I could make a difference. I kind of feel like, yo, I think I can try my best to make things a little better because I could relate to escaping through video games. And I know a lot of you could relate through finding a way to escape through video games and possibly YouTube. So I thought laughter is the best way to help. To actually see somebody on YouTube that could make you laugh, that could make you not think of the reality of life. Just like I used to escape playing video games and it kind of rescued me from the real world, I think I could do that for you or for my viewers. You understand? Because, and that's how I slowly became more of a clown. Because laughing for me is like the best cure for anything. And if I could make you laugh and I laugh during it too, we're just saving ourselves from the reality, the cruel reality of this world. Because the world could be a very, very harsh place. You feel me? So I try my best to be the best entertainer and kind of make everybody happy.
And that's exactly why I became different. I became from Seed of Death, the horror loving, serious channel where we play horror and very mature things, to more of a funny, goofy character that loves to make people laugh. So I became from Seed of Death, the skeleton, to Seed, the bunny, the clown that loves to dance and play to try to make everybody happy. And that was a transformation that happened to me in real life. And now it translates to video games. And that's so crazy.
The way I see it is that I might not be there to protect you personally as much as I want to, but at least I can make the world a little better, or at least I could help you laugh and ignore the reality that's going on in our world, at least for a little bit. So now I have the responsibility where I feel like I have the responsibility You understand? Because that's just the way I am because of how I was when I was a child. My circumstances make me the man that I am today. That's why I am how I am. That's why I'm broken because I care, because I could see myself. I remember my pain. I remember my suffering. And that's why I try my best. And it actually hurts me sometimes as well. That's why I end up how I end up. But just like the saying, I think I'm too far in to get out. I think I'm obligated. It's my responsibility now. But that's just my thought. It's not really. I don't have to, but I want to. And I feel this way. I cannot avoid feeling this way. Especially when I get beautiful messages of young viewers saying, I love you, see it, and all this. It really makes me feel like I have the responsibility to come back and entertain and have fun and kind of like be there for you, even though I cannot be there for you. In a way, I can through the power of internet and YouTube and videos. And that my mind is kind of broken that way because I care because I had to go through it and no one cared. So I feel like I have all this responsibility in my shoulders, especially the fact that I work very hard. I'm a very hard worker and I carry a lot. I'm responsible for a lot of things at my job and they pressure me to take even more tasks and more responsibilities. So many lazy people, so many people that do not make my life easier. And I carry the weight as a supervisor and as a responsible adult. I am the one who does a lot for everything to happen at work. And that's a lot of pressure. I'm also the one that everybody looks up to and relies on at home to keep everything afoot. And I have my wife to help me with this, and I'm so grateful to her. But I also do have a lot of responsibility to my family and to hold everything up together. And to actually be strong is very, very important. And on top of that, now my free time for me to escape into video games, I have the responsibility to be a streamer. And I feel the responsibility to so many viewers out there to at least be there for them. For you never know when they're going through their darkest day, and you show up and you're that light that kind of makes their day better. I think that's true in my head. I think that's true. But I don't know this for a fact. But that's why I feel obligated to be and do the things. And that's why everything falls on me and I could get really stressed out and I still put on a smile and I still try my best because I want to not make things worse. I want to make things better. But it's hard. It's hard. The internet is a very difficult place to be without being stressed out and feeling the pressure of everybody pressuring you at work and everybody pressuring you online. And it could get to the point where there's a boiling point. And I do not want to get to that boiling point. So that's why I decided to take a break. Because I said, let's take a break. There's too much stress. There's too much boiling up. And I do not wanna blow up towards my viewers because that's not cool, bro. But as I was making this video, I was stressed of all the little pictures I was using because I'm like, is this AI? I don't know anymore. Is this I'm making a video to talk to my viewers, but just putting the wrong picture could completely defeat the purpose because if you do something wrong, everything you say will be thrown out the window for the one thing you did wrong. And, I was stressed out with that too. I was like, is this AI? I don't know. Is this AI? I don't know. So that's just extra stress that I have in my head too. At actually socializing and being in a public place, it's a difficult scenario to begin with. But yeah, that's pretty much why I am how I am. This is my story. And this is why I feel like I have to do these things, even though I don't. Because it's just the way I was made through the world. And now I am a man with a lot of responsibilities, and I feel like winners win. And I could definitely end up on the other side being a true champ. But we will only know the ending of the story once we get there. I have no idea what the future holds. Hopefully, a lot of good things. I'm optimistic. But for now, guys, you already know. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being awesome. Hopefully, this video wasn't too real for you. But sometimes I just got to say how things are. Because that's just life. And you might appreciate it or you might hate it. At the end of the day, I'm still here for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.
80, I'm almost there. Flying, but I don't care. You and I, we don't die. We survive.